Hey tubers, I'm here at the Colorado Railroad Museum. I was turned on to this by one of my friends at Inglewood Camera, and I've been putting off coming out here for quite a long time, and today I thought, hey, I'll get the new Audi S4 out, I'll get my camera out, and I'm going to take some pictures of cool old trains. So that's what I'm up to. Well, I was just setting up for the shot that's behind me, this engine behind me, and I was told that they forgot to put the gate up, so I'm really not supposed to be over here. Guess I'll find something else to shoot. Okay, well, being a railroad museum, there's more than one engine in this yard. So I found this right here, some interesting machinery. The light's a little bit harsh right now, but we've got a pretty good, mostly sunny day. When the clouds come in, we get a good, soft kind of giant light box kind of effect. And I'm going to wait for that, but I'll go ahead and set the camera up at this point. Sure, I've mentioned it before. I keep scratching my lip. Every time I start talking, my lip starts itching. Must be psychosomatic. Most of the time when I'm out shooting, before I actually set up for the shot, I use this app called the Artist Viewfinder, and that lets you set various focal lengths, and then it creates frames on your iPhone or whatever camera, so that you can kind of get a feel for what the shot's going to look like, and you can get position and all that before you set up all the hardware. I was turned on to this by Ellen Brock. It's been a real lifesaver, and I'm using it today. All right, the Artist Viewfinder told me that basically my best composition at this location is going to be with a 210 millimeter lens. I'm carrying 3 lenses today. I've got the 120 that I shoot a whole lot. I've got the 210 that I shoot a little less, but it's still a good general purpose lens. And I've got my 90, which is a little wide for my normal taste. So I'm probably about 15 or 20 feet away. That gives you a feel for the kind of compositional distance you get with a 210 on 4x5. I'm going to get this, the numeral 12 in. I'm going to get all of these, I guess they might be, I don't know what these are. I don't know my train engines. They look like cylinders to me, perhaps they are, and get all these cylinders in a horizontal shot. Okay, the shot is basically set up. Now I got my tripod all level, I got the head level and so forth, and then I leveled the camera using the built-in bubble levels on it. But then I started kind of looking at the composition in the ground glass, and it's not necessarily true that this train itself is perfectly level, so I kind of used what was on the ground glass to make sure that the composition itself is level. We'll see how good of a job I've done of that. Sometimes it's a little tricky, even with the grid lines and all that stuff. There's various parts on this train that aren't level with respect to each other either, so you have to kind of just get a feel for it and hope you get it all right. Once I basically had the shot set up, I discovered that I needed to adjust the composition a little bit. Everything was already level. I was able to, because of the strength of a view camera, just shift the rear standard, and that changed the composition and let me get something I need without actually moving the camera. And then, as I've shown in other videos, I'm actually using some front rise here because the train is a little higher than my point of view, and to get the composition I want, again, I just move the front standard. I don't tilt the camera up. All right, I got the shot. The dark slide back in with the black side out. On to the next shot. I just f***ing did it again. Well, I'm pretty pissed. Every time I try to do video with my stupid iPhone, I start feeling like a freaking old timer because I'm always getting off by one. I think I'm recording when I'm not, and I'm not recording when I think I am. So I've missed out on a decent amount of footage that I've taken today, and it seems to be a habit with me. I can't figure out why I have so much trouble with that. I've got a lot of video of the inside of my pocket. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get a shot of this. Looks like the Artist Viewfinder told me that my 120 will get this just about right, and I'll shoot it vertically, and it should be a pretty interesting shot. Whatever this is, I guess this is the engineering room of the train. I don't know much about trains, but this is where looks like the coal would go in here probably. I see some coal in there, so I think the answer is yes. And then there's just all kinds of cool, I guess you could best describe it as steampunk as hell. So see how this comes out in black and white. It's going to be kind of a long exposure, I suspect. Okay, I've worked out the exposure with the spot meter to f32 roughly 4 seconds. But I'm up in the multiple seconds, so I have to consider a reciprocity failure, so I use the reciprocity timer app on my phone, and that gets me up to, now I can't remember, but it was like 30-40 seconds. So it's going to be a long exposure. On the camera, I've got quite a bit of rise to get the point of view up to where it needs to be on the subject. I played around a little bit with swings, but due to the composition, we've got close elements here, far elements here, but we're really looking at this at an angle. So if I were to do a swing to try to get that dimension in focus, all of this would fall out of focus. I decided instead to just go for f45, deal with whatever shallow depth of field happens. It'll probably look nice, and so that's my artistic choice in this case. All right, well, I got 2 frames out. Hopefully this was a success. That second shot was actually 50 seconds, taking into account reciprocity and bellows extension. You have to account for extra bellows extension, and that was a relatively close-up shot. I just estimated the extension. You know, film's pretty forgiving. So, well, by estimating, I mean I estimated the bellows extension itself, not the exposure. I used the reciprocity timer for that. So I'm heading back. Catch you on the flip side.